As a musician, as yourself being a musician, have you seen a lot of musicals? Or
I have seen a lot of musicals. The musicals I like.
Yeah.
La La Land.
Okay.
I like. You know what? It's gonna be controversial. Whatever. I really like Josie and the Pussycats. If you can call it a musical, it's a musical.
Okay.
I mean, any like the '90s Disney musicals, Aladdin. The little merlady.
So a lot of the Disney.
Shy, you gotta kiss the girl.
Shall I throw up Beauty and the Beast? We can't say that.
I don't know. I was never a Beauty and the Beast fan. Nicole, our sister, she really liked it. Yeah.
So let's just bring up La La Land now. I haven't seen it yet, but you would say in that the story got you more than.
Oh, more than
the enjoyment of the songs.
The songs are so good. I've listened to that soundtrack so many times.
Okay.
But what do I love about it? I love the songs and I love the theme of it. I love the idea of it.
Like some of my favorite musicals, I should say, are musicals like that are just very simple stories, like Beyond the Sea. I don't know why I got attached to that.
That is a good.
It was very
musical.
Classic. Wise, it just kind of grabbed me. Sound of Music's always been a favorite of mine. I know it has a couple crappy songs thrown in there too.
Those songs are good,
but there's a few and Fiddler on the Roof. That one. Yeah, that one's a great.
There's musical. A lot of good songs in that.
Anyways, let's move on. So, question 5: as a man of Christian faith, do films inspire you or confirm elements that point to who Jesus is?
Well, I would say, so you know how we talked about earlier that in my younger years, I was more black and white, and I would become more gray. Part of that journey is that now I would say, like, I'm way more of someone who believes that all truth is God's truth, right? And so I don't think that, for a wonderful truth to be conveyed, that it needs to be in the Bible or in Christian songs or in something like that, right? I believe like truth, no one's got a monopoly on truth, and and the thing is I think you gotta be wise and sift through that when it comes to the movie, because a lot of movies can convey such incredible truth, and others can convey such incredible lies. An example of that, I mean, the one that just pops into my head is Wolf of Wall Street. You know, even though I enjoyed the film, it conveys lies. It conveys a lie that I mean, and you can say whatever you want about Scorsese and what he was artistically trying to do, but like if we're just talking about what the story is saying, it's a story that says that basically it doesn't matter how you look out for you and only you, and it doesn't matter who you step on, and you can get it and just get ahead in life and be better than other people, and don't care about who you hurt, and that's the basically like hedonism and self and all that is like is the best way to live like this authentic adventure life, which I think that's all BS. I think it's all a lie.
I think for me, like some movies just kind of shine through. Well, and it's probably most of them are based on stories, kind of like when you and me watched Nicholas Nickleby. Yeah. To me, that felt like the certain scenes felt just like had the characteristics of what we believe in as Christians, who Jesus is, the defender of those who are weak, right? When Nicholas Nickleby is defending Schmite, and he basically is, and that to me speaks the fight for justice. In a lot of movies, that's what gets me. That just makes me just it gets into my spirit, and just I sense just like that message of truth, and just powerful films that can convey that. And I guess what you were saying, like there's a movie that I watched recently. It's called The Founder, and based on roughly true events about the guy that was involved in McDonald's, and you just see how corruption seeps in and just destroys a person, and how it just changes who they are.
So what would you say was like the message of that, without maybe spoiler alert, of The Founder? Would you say that it is about whatever, get rich, who cares, screw over your partners? Or is it about how you get to the top and you're still like lonely? I think like the greatest wake up call for anyone should be like, millionaires commit suicide. You know, that should be, even that fact should make us step back and think about like how we perceive the world, I think. But do you think what do you think The Founder was trying to say? I didn't see it.
I think with its honesty, I think it was saying, this is someone that got away with it. This is someone that was able to scheme his way to the top, and they were able to use an idea. Yeah, there's definitely there's a truth, a dark truth, and then there's the God truth, and that there's light shown to people and justice.
Because I guess it's true, right? You can, like, that should be, you know, that should be a truth that people know. That you can just scheme and steal and
get a divorce if you want to. With the lady is supporting you, you know.
Is that what
she supports him through the whole thing, and he ends up just saying, "I want a divorce." Okay. Like, it's really sad. Okay, well, question 6: do you appreciate Netflix, and why?
I love Netflix. I mean, it can be a little addicting because it's you remember growing up.
It's like TV.
So me and Chris grew up on a farm in the middle of nowhere. So we're talking middle of nowhere. We're talking 15-minute drive to the nearest gas station.
No satellite back then.
No satellite. We had 2 channels. 1 hour drive to the nearest movie theater, which was like heaven when we got to go to the movie theater, which is why we're so into movies, I think. Our elementary school was a 15-minute drive away. My high school was a 45-minute drive away. So we grew up in the middle of nowhere, and when we saw movies at home, we actually had to buy them. We had to buy VHS or DVDs when they came out, or Blu-ray later, and we might be able to drive in to get a rental, but then they would only let you out for one night, and you might not be in that same town the next, right? So if you knew you were going to be in town 2 days in a row, you might get a movie, but otherwise you didn't. Even when we rented a movie, it was like, oh my gosh, we got a movie, and so growing up like that, and now I'm like, you know, some people are like, Netflix doesn't have very much. Selection or options. I'm like, you're living in the, like, I just feel, it just makes me angry. I'm almost like, me and Chris grew up, you don't know what it was like. You don't know.
It's like you've Gone with the Wind. I will never go hungry again.
Like, basically, you can watch Netflix 24/7 and you would never run out. They put up new stuff.
I don't know if I'd watch it 24/7.
You could, though.
You could? That's scary.
Like, I have a friend, Greg Rikas, he's a touring musician, but he told me we live in the most entertaining, easily entertaining time in all of history. Where basically you can watch some of the best movies and independent films, like great independent films on Netflix, for like $8-10 a month.
Here's why I have almost as if a love-hate relationship, because I love a lot of the stuff that I see, but there's also that longing for, well, gee, you know, I wish it was like the good old days where I could go into a video store and there it was. Now sites like Cinema Now and Amazon, they capitalize on the fact that, well, if you want that movie, you can buy it or rent it on Prime, Amazon, you know, for this much money and all this stuff, and which is, you know, it's like a rental fee, so I understand that. But it's just the fact that for me, I get into that rhythm of, oh well, Netflix is my go-to. So now when you actually, for in my opinion, I have to write down if there's an old movie like from the 90s or something, because I love 90s movies. Chances are there's not a good chance that I would find that obscure movie, right? So which is fair, but the thing that gets me, that bugs me the most, is my wife said, "Oh, they got Cinderella on Netflix," and I said, "Rachel, Netflix is not guaranteed, so you may."
What do you mean?
I said, "You may see that up there, and you may forget about it." And that may not be on there in such and such a time.
That's true, yeah.
And so sure enough, within 4 weeks, it was off. And
Really?
it could not be found. I went on numerous occasions. I was like, oh, they got the Warriors on here. That's a great movie. Tried to find it. Doesn't exist anymore. Oh.
Do you put things in your queue? Do you use the queue?
No, I don't.
Watch them all.
I've seen things that said you have this is only available till March 31st or so.
Oh, it says it.
I was like, what? Why? What's with the time limit? But I guess it makes sense, you know, new seasons and stuff.
Yeah.
They want to
That's
change.
I guess that's the thing about
That bugs me.
That's the thing about Netflix is, like, you're not gonna get the older stuff. Like, they don't.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why they don't just have like a database of every single. Like, I think eventually. I mean, I think we'll, in our time before we die, we'll see a significant shrinking of copyright time. So I think it's after 100 years, it's free copyright, right? It's just in the public domain. I think that's going to get shortened to like 50 years. I could see it getting shortened to 25 years. After 25 years, anyone can watch it because information is so important, and all these movies and films are so important to keep. We can learn about our history. With me, between Netflix and my local library.
Yeah, the library is probably where you're gonna find.
Yeah, there is never, and through interlibrary loans, it's not always at my library.
No, because they can order it. And
but between like my library and Netflix, I have everything I want to watch.
We're in 2017 now. Did digital kill the video stores?
The video store, yeah, of course.
So it
was like Netflix, woo, Blockbuster, see ya. They were passing by each other. They were like, "How are you doing? Pretty good. Hey, wait, what's that? What? That was Blockbuster."
So what happened? What about HMV? Like, they were making money off of merch.
Yeah, I don't know how they kept in business. There's like still an HMV in Regina, Saskatchewan, which I'm like, why are you still open?
Well, they do have a certain time limit. Not when Blockbuster closed. Not all of them closed right away.
You know, it's music. They were way behind in adapting.
Yeah.
So they're basically no one can be right as of today. If you want to be a musician and make a living as a musician, you can't. I mean, 10 people can, but it is not possible. And that's mostly because the music industry didn't adapt. They're still trying to sell you $25 CDs when everyone was getting it for free for years.
Wow.
And they never adapted, and it's just television adapted. It is adapted. You know, movies adapted, right? So we got Netflix. People, because you know what? People aren't going to like get their stuff off of Pirate Bay and LimeWire or whatever. People aren't gonna like. People don't want to go to some sketchy site to download something if they can just pay $10 a month and have it. You know, people would rather pay $10 a month just to have access to something than to. The same with Apple Music. So Apple Music is now the adaptation. But I think music is just done. We won't see like a lot of working original artists in music in the next 50 years. It's just not gonna be a thing. It isn't a thing now.
And like this,
unless you're Bieber and for like 10 other people.
Well, this is what got me is we had this smart TV, and my wife says, well, all these are on our smart TV. Mm-hmm. We can just buy them. And I said, why would you want to do that? I want the physical copy. What if the internet
crazy.
What if the internet goes down? I want to be able to physically see this copy, the poster. I want to look at the back. I want to open it and see the fancy CD.
The fancy.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like some of these DVDs, mm-hmm. like how much time did they must have paid these guys to make this nice DVD menu, like whatever the theme was. Let's say it was like mm-hmm. a night in Round Table. So you'd put the DVD in, and then the menu would show the previews and blah blah blah, and then you'd see the swords, and it'd be like this animated version, and it'd be camera 3D effect go around the table, and then the knights would go up, and then it'd be like main menu, play, movie, da da da. And that's, for me, that's part of the movie experience.
Do you know what I miss about DVDs? And I get to experience it when I get stuff from the library still. Commentaries.
Commentaries.
I love commentaries.
There you go.
I wish they would just like put them online somewhere, because they're the best. I love them. But I don't know. I wish, or maybe if there was like a podcast that was just commentaries, like I would listen to that.